Hey there, service pros. This is Christian from Workiz. In this video, we're going to talk about a super easy, super effective way to get your external leads into Workiz. We have a few direct integrations with some of the more prominent lead providers in the field service industry to automatically get your leads into the software. They work seamlessly with our built-in message center to streamline your workflows. That said, you may get your leads differently. Maybe you have an intake form on your website or a more complex service request form. That's where Zapier comes into play. Before we get started, some boxes we need to check. To follow along, you'll need access to your Workiz API credentials, a Zapier account, and an email parser by Zapier. I'll walk you through each one of those in this video. Okay, we'll start with your Workiz API credentials. We'll head over to the marketplace to enable the developer API add-on. From there, we'll go to the API settings page to get our credentials. We don't need these right away, but just make sure you keep this tab open to use in a few minutes. Next, we'll need to set up our email parser with Zapier. You can get to this page by heading over to parser.zapier.com. The link's in the description below. You'll need a Zapier account for this to work. After going to the parser page, we have to create a new mailbox template. That should generate a funny looking email address like this one. Don't worry, you'll be able to change this in just a few minutes. You'll see it's telling us that we need to send an email to this address. This next part is going to depend on how you get your lead information from clients. Again, maybe you have a form embedded on your website, or you get your information from a third-party provider. Either way, grab one of those emails and send it over to the email address that Zapier generated. If you're forwarding the email, make sure you get rid of all the extra unnecessary information like the extra threads, replies, or email signatures. That's going to ensure the best results when defining your template. Give it a few seconds and Zapier should automatically generate a plain text version of your email. First thing I want to do here is change the email address to something I might actually be able to remember or recognize. Next, we'll focus our attention on the body of the email we brought over. For the best results, we want to separate all the individual field information into separate lines. Otherwise, Zapier may struggle to properly identify the information you want to highlight. From here, we'll start manually tagging all of the information we want to send over to Workiz. Just highlight the field information you want to map to Workiz and give it a name that you recognize. For example, I'll highlight the client's actual first name and name it client first name. Same for the client's last name. Just highlight it and change it to client last name. You'll know you tagged it if you see the highlighted double brackets. Pro tip, take a look at the default fields that Workiz has for new leads and new jobs and try to tag your email accordingly. For example, you'll want to make sure you tag the street address, city, state, and zip code all separately. After we're done tagging our email, we'll just hit this button down here to save our template. For the best results, you'll want to make sure that all of your incoming emails match this format exactly. If you have other emails that look a bit different, you'll want to create a separate template that matches those other emails. Okay, now we have to head over to Zapier to create our new Zap. We'll start by creating the trigger event. Search for and select Email Parser by Zapier. Under Event, select New Email. From here, make sure to connect your email parser account. After connecting, we'll want to choose the specific template we created just a minute ago. Hit Test Trigger, and Zapier should automatically bring in the email we tagged earlier. After that, you'll need to set up the action event. Search for and select Workiz. Under Event, choose Create Lead or Create Job. We'll go with Lead. After that, it's going to ask you to connect your Workiz account. To do that, you'll need the API credentials we generated at the beginning of this video. You just need to copy your API secret and API token and paste them into the corresponding fields in Zapier. You should see all the different fields you can map based on the default fields for Workiz leads. Go ahead and click on one of them and then map the specific field we tagged in our email template earlier. First name goes with first name, last name goes with last name, and so on. If you tag something that doesn't have its own default field, like serial number or model number, you'll still be able to bring the information over, but it'll have to go into the description field of your new jobs or leads. I'll go ahead and test my Zap, give it a few seconds, and then head over to my Workiz account. And there it is. There's the lead that was automatically created from our Zap. If it all looks right, go ahead and head back to Zapier and hit Publish. A few last things worth mentioning before we close this one out. First, you'll want to make sure that your incoming lead emails make their way to the email address you created from the email parser in Zapier. Consider setting up auto-forwarding from your email address to the parser email address. Next, if you ever notice that the email parser isn't performing as expected, you can always go back to the email parser settings page to give it more email examples that you can map so that it has more data to run off of. Otherwise, that's it. That's how you can easily bring your leads into Workiz using Zapier. Feel free to subscribe to this channel for all the latest on how Workiz can help your business grow. Thanks for watching.